Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading off to Italy for round 14 of the 2000 Formula One season. Let's get started.
Located just a few kilometers to the north of Milan, the legendary Monza circuit combines long straights with a mixture of chicanes, fast sweeping, and 90-degree turns. The dedicated motorsports facility is the spiritual home of Italian motor racing and a cathedral for Ferrari and their fanatical fans, the Tifosi.
Here we are in Italy, ready to go out and start our qualifying, and let's hope it all goes well, or at the very least, it goes okay. Anyway, coming around for our first qualifying lap, I was actually fastest through Sector 1 if you can believe it, but then I completely messed up Sector 2 and 3, and so we crossed the line with a time of 1 minute 31.654 seconds, placing us in 13th for the moment. But later on I go out for a second time, and I mess up completely. First I miss my braking point into turn 1, then I miss my braking point into the second chicane, and so I cross the line with a time of 1 minute 34.140 seconds, a lot slower than previously, so we will be starting our race from 19th. See you on the grid.
Hello there. Welcome to Italy. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Coulthard, first. Mika Hakkinen, second. Schumacher, third. Barrichello, fourth. Jenson Button, fifth. Villeneuve, sixth. Ralph Schumacher, seventh. Frentzen, eighth. Eddie Irvine was consistently faster than his teammate. He starts ninth. Verstappen, 10th. Fisichella, 11th. Ricardo Zonta, 12th. Trulli, 13th. Nick Heidfeld, 14th. Diniz, 15th. Mika Salo, 16th. Wirtz, 17th. De La Rosa, 18th. The Jaguar driver, 19th. Alesi, 20th. Genet, 21st. Mazzacane, 22nd.
Here we are on the grid, ready for the start of the race, and I hope that we can do well here. Although, Monza is better suited for faster cars. And we're off. A decent-ish start, although Mazzacane slightly tempts me from behind. And we are now looking to pass Alexander Wirtz and Pedro de la Rosa, as we approach this revised first chicane. If you remember, last season we had that double chicane, whereas now it resembles the layout used today. Anyway, I already made my way up into 15th, so let's have a replay. Here is a replay of the start. Everyone gets away first, but then as we approach turn 1, the two Williamses of Button and Schumacher make contact, which is a bit ironic because the redesign of turn 1 was made with the intention to avoid first lap incidents. But anyway, we are now riding along with Ralf Schumacher. He has Villeneuve in front, and in front of him is his teammate, which he slams into, breaking Button's rear wing, essentially taking him out of the race. Frank Williams won't be too happy about that, I'm pretty sure. You should never take out your teammate, but as we approach the second chicane, Truly brakes really early and I almost end up hitting him. I don't know why he would brake so early. Regardless, we are now up in 14th and we have Fisichella in front, so let's see if we can pass him soon. That would be nice. And just like Truly a second ago, he brakes really early and almost end up hitting him as well. Why would you do that? Was he brake checking me or something? I don't know, but what I do know is that we are going to pass Giancarlo Fisichella, so we are now up in 13th. and Ralf Schumacher lost his rear wing. Let's have a look. So, here's a replay of the incident. There's Ralf Schumacher with his missing front wing, and as he brakes a bit early to compensate for the lack of front grip, Heinz-Harald Frentzen plows into the back of his car. So that is both the Williamses out of the race. And I tried to pass Nick Heidfeld, but yeah, both Williamses are out within the first lap. So I'm pretty sure that Sir Frank Williams will not be happy about this. And one of the Williams is holding everyone up. But he peels into the pits, and in the process I pass Verstappen. So now we're up in 9th, which is what we want. We want to get as close to the points as possible, hopefully even score a few. And I completely mess up that first turn again. I need to brake a bit earlier. A few hundred meters later, we bump into Button, who still hasn't gone into the pits for some reason. And he should, because he's just a mobile chicane at the moment. Anyway, let's try to catch Zonta. On lap 4, I finally catch up to Ricardo Zonta. I have a look on the inside, but he leaves me no room, so I back out of it. We'll try again later. And as we start lap 5, I have another look at Zonta, but I was too far behind for that to work, so we'll have to stay close and hope for the best. We are still on lap 5 as we come across the BAR of Jacques Villeneuve, who is having some gearbox problems. So Zonta passes him, and so do I. That was a bit scary, but that whole situation put me in a position where I could finally pass Zonta. And we are in the points. We are 5th to be precise. At the end of lap 7 I need to pit, and I slow down way too early for the pit entrance. That's going to lose me some time. And I think I just went through one of the Jordan mechanics. Whoops. Anyway, let's see how this goes. We were in 4th when we entered, so let's see where we will be once we are done here. And we are moving once again. Not sure how long that took, and it looks like we might be rejoining in 8th or 9th as our teammate rushes past us. Now let's see if we can climb back up into the points. At the end of lap 8, both Zonta and teammate Eddie Irvine decide to pit in, and it looks like there were a few more cars in the pit because we are now up in P5. So we're back in the points. This is absolutely amazing. It will be even better if we can actually finish in the points, so let's make that happen. We are now starting our final lap, and my front brakes give up, which is quite bad because we are back up in 4th and just one lap away from the finish line. But if I'm careful enough with the brakes, we should be fine. I should have used larger brake ducts. Oh well. But as we are exiting Parabolica for one last time, we are up in P4, which is absolutely outstanding. That is 3 points in the bag. That is a total of 12, which isn't a lot really this late in the season, but at least it's something. As I continue to mess up that first turn, but yeah, I'm very happy with today's result. And with 3 more races to go, I can only hope that we can gain a few more points before the season is over. And now my engine gives up on the wind down lap. Brilliant. Well, that just goes to show how hard I was pushing. Anyway guys, let's get on to the standings.
After that fantastic Italian Grand Prix, let's take a look at the final results. Hakkinen first. Michael Schumacher second. Coulthard third. The Jaguar driver fourth. Rubens Barrichello fifth. Heidfeld sixth.
So, here are the driver standings. Mika Hakkinen further extends his lead in the championship, despite the fact that he really doesn't have to push that hard anymore. He now has 110 points. Second is Michael Schumacher with 59 points. Third is David Coulthard with 47 points. In fourth we have Button with 41 points. Fifth is shared by Villeneuve and Barrichello with 15 points. I move up into sixth with 12 points. Seventh is shared between Fisichella, Verstappen, Ralf Schumacher, and now Nick Heidfeld with 9 points. Frentzen is in eighth with 8 points. Ninth is Irvine with 7 points. Mika Salo is in 10th with 5 points. Wirtz and Zonta share 11th with 2 points. And finally 12th we have Mazzacane and Trulli both with 1 point. Moving on to the constructors, we have McLaren in first position now with a respectable 157 points. In second we have Ferrari with 74 points, Williams are in third with 50 points, our team moves back up into fourth with 19 points, BAR dropped down into fifth with 17 points, Benetton are sixth with 11 points, Jordan, Arrows, and now Prost share seventh with 9 points, eighth is held by Sauber with 8 points, and in ninth we have Minardi with one single point. So, that is it for this race. Good performance on my part, despite a few mistakes here and there. Fourth place is quite good, those 3 points are very welcome. But considering how close we are to the end of the season, it won't make too much of a difference. But if we manage to keep our position in both the Drivers' as well as the Constructors' Championship, I will be pretty happy indeed. And since we are so close to the end, I urge you guys to vote for next season's team before the time runs out. Otherwise, I will have to randomly pick one. Anyway, next time, Formula One will be returning to the United States after quite a long time. So, join me then when we will be heading off to Indianapolis in Indiana, United States for round 15 of the season. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to vote for next season's team, and as always, stay sharp.